Hi guys, welcome to Generation Mingle, where all the generation from boomers to Gen Z having conversation, exchanging ideas, helping each other, and Gen Alpha just is on the side and listen and learning very quietly. I'm your host. My name is B, and welcome Suzette, my co-host. How you doing, my dear?
I'm good. How are you today?
I am pretty good. I want to also, say to the Gen Z specifically, thank you so much, guys. You have been so active on our post on TikTok that we did have 2 weeks ago. And there are so many comments, and thank you for any other generation that contribute in the comments as well. I think we do have to continue with, mingle in that situation of AI, jobs and housing, and the fear that all generation do have from AI. That is, and reading those comments on the TikTok has been quite touching, a little bit rebellious in my mind, and but I want to let you know, Suzette, that I received a letter from Gen Z that has been quite emotional, make me emotional when I read, and we discussed that a little bit, and that person have asked me not to read that letter, so I will absolutely, not do that.
Right.
But I want to touch through their, our podcast, a couple of views on that, right? So bottom line, this person commented on that comment that you read from the letter from the first Gen Z, how that person struggle. And only one thing that I will reveal, that person has a first responder job. And it's not the first responder that you will take paramedic, firefighter, the police officers, or the nurse that make unfair income. That person really does not make much as a first responder. But she's dealing with a traumatic situation, from death to birth to everything you wish for. So I'm sure that relates to PTSD and really tough ending of the job. And she revealed to me that only one paycheck barely is covering the rent that they currently pay. They do not go out for last 2 years. They don't buy exclusive coffee. She put that very sweet in that I'm drinking that nasty coffee and used a coffee pot that my family have given to me. And sometimes some are months that they barely have $80 in the end of the month. So yeah, that is definitely a struggle that will put us for many generation, and I think Gen Z struggle a lot because it's the youngest generation, and really right now the economy speed is just like with non-speed highway for them. And I think AI have affected a generation millennial and Gen Z the most. Nothing to take away from Gen X's like ourselves or the boomers, right? Please, those two generations have a minute just to understand what I'm trying to say. Those younger generation, the technology has been growing super fast. I think we as Gen X's, we have some time, right, to take a breath and evaluate what is next. And unfortunately, those two generations will have to do that as well. But I do have a comment from the TikTok that I would like to read. And give me a minute here. Here we go. The current job market is affecting every worker and future worker. Inflation is awful and raising wages are stagnant. AI is growing exponentially without regulation to keep up with it and without any type of cut to people that made AI possible with their data. It is different, but likewise the social media platforms like Facebook. Those billion-dollar companies are making money and technology based off everyone's data. The economy as a whole is affecting everyone. And this is true. And just to that comment, thank you so much again for the comment on TikTok. But I received also a letter, and you, Suzette, have one of the letters that I would like you to read that kind of puts light on that comment as well. Right?
For sure. So it says, Dear Generation Mingle, I'm Gen X, and I hear Gen Z talking about fear all the time. You know what scares me? Being 52 years old and realizing your experience suddenly means less because software can do part of your job. We were told, be loyal to the company. Then companies downsized us. We were told safer retirement. Then markets crashed. Now AI is coming for white-collar jobs too. So when Gen Z says they're scared, I get it. But uncertainty didn't start with your generation. You're entering the storm. Some of us has been living in it for decades. I am tired of being told by Gen Z that every crisis is new. Kurt.
What do you think about that letter?
I think the fact is that in our entire world that we need to offer a little more compassion to everyone, and I do understand where Kurt is coming from. I think it's difficult for any of us at any of our ages with the AI right now because just like the comment on TikTok, look, the boomers and the Gen Xers, they've been spending years doing research and data and all of that stuff for jobs, learning experiences, learning how to make things better. That's why in America things have changed so rapidly over the last 50 years. But the last 25 years, it's exponentially rising of what has changed. And so I think that right now where we're at, that Gen Z is probably most affected because of the fact that they grew up in the technological age. But a lot of the technology that we have all learned over the last, 20 years is almost a moot point at this point because AI can do a lot of things and it's only growing. And like that person said, there's no regulation. And what are we going to see? I mean, we watch these movies about the future, how they're going to be robots, and pretty much the human race becomes extinct. I mean, I can understand where all of that fear comes from because we're always fearful of the unknown.
Well, a couple of things I think I believe that has to be approached with that. First of all, the general public is so used to it. Also, when they're younger, they're affected by all the movies and the shows. That you can see a couple of people standing there holding a cup of coffee, latte, or whatever it is, and having chat and going to the office. And then next thing you know, they go for lunch and doing this and doing that, and you don't really see the work process happening. So. I think everybody right now has to put their feet on the ground and kind of take a deep breath because I have seen also comments on TikTok that has been, mentioning, well, everybody's looking for that, latte job in the office when we have to look for other jobs. I have to send a little message to everyone that Boomers generation, at least in my family, and I believe you, Susan, as well, have mentioned that before, they did adjust themselves as well. Not, they didn't have to do it as fast as Millennial and Gen Z, but my generation, I did have to adjust and, refurbish myself and approach differently. You did the same thing. But especially right now, we cannot just say that AI takes all the jobs and robots will be everywhere. We have to really focus a little bit still, look outside those goals that you guys have. And I understand the frustration. People have a, bachelor degree, master's degree, and they wanted to do something just like, let me read that really cute comment that I put a heart because I feel for that girl. Her name is Morgan. I went to college because I want to be an event planner. And now I'm getting blamed that I should have picked a better major. It is difficult enough just to try and get a foot into the door for it, but people act like we all have to be going for the exact same job now. I want to be happy at my job and be financially stable. Any full-time job should provide that. She is right, but unfortunately life evolves, just like your letter said as well, to us. we have to find different resources. And yes, you event planner and you're looking for that position, and that still can happen to you because actually AI can communicate with you the right way to help you to be more efficient. And maybe in the future, Morgan, I really wish that for you, that you can have your own LLC, your own company, and plan those events, because right now, just FYI, I wanted to tell you that when my child was younger, he's now over 35 years old, I didn't have a graduation, preschool graduation, and kindergarten graduation, right? They do have, those are the events, so you could reach out in that direction, just FYI. But for the time being, we have discussed that yesterday, right? About the other positions. What were we talking about? Different options of jobs. What do we talk about?
I think we talked about, jobs that we know are always going to be needed,
Right, that AI will not touch.
like-
Such a, like, what was that? Grooming, right?
Hands-on jobs,
dog grooming.
like dog grooming.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the medical profession is always going to
Right, but here we come in with the cost of the college.
Right, and then and I understand that with the cost of college,
but there's entry level.
Yeah,
You said that it's the entry level, the caretakers.
Yeah, the caretakers.
It's very popular
Yep.
because more and more our patients staying at home. And the agencies of caretakers, they're looking for hands-on, right, to help. And what did you said was, what was it?
Hairdressers.
Hairdressers.
We're going to need our hairdressers to
Yes.
keep our hair looking nice.
Exactly.
Women,
There's never enough of them,
Yeah.
right? And by the way, I wanted to say that, my groomer has a beautiful little house, and she's running the grooming services from her home.
Right.
And she's making decent income,
Right.
right? And that's what she loves to do. So I believe that, the caretaker, the startup is not huge. And I know, guys, it's very hard to pay the rent,
Right.
but AI will not take that job,
Right.
So temporary, as you're still adjusting and figure it out, and everybody does, taking care of someone could be really rewarding, and at the same time, it is a paycheck. It's not huge, but it's a paycheck in the time being where you figure it out.
Well, and I think part of that too is, I remember when I graduated from college and was trying to get a job, and I had those same interviews and letdowns, and they told you didn't have enough experience. And that's where I think that those entry-level type positions can help. Yes, nobody wants to start at the bottom. We all want to see the TV life and start at the top, but unfortunately most people have to start at the bottom and work their way up.
Right.
And with taking some of these jobs that we're not saying this is your dream job. This might be a job you have to do for a year or two to advance yourself
but
to
still
the next
open,
level.
it
But
has not been
gives
taken
you-
by AI,
but
right?
it gives you the experience.
Something that you can put on the resume
And
as
that's
communication skills,
Workers
whatever
are
it is.
looking for.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, employers are looking for.
Right,
They
right.
want to see, have you been able to hold a full-time job? Have
Right.
you been able to perform?
And
Do
how
you have
you,
the discipline?
and how you have been, managing to actually evolve your mind around the situation and finding a job, something temporary, but you still will look for the job that you really would like to do. So the overall just message, I think it is right now for everyone that looks for the perfect job is not there. Take a deep breath, evaluate yourself, and find something in between, and still try to accomplish that goal, right?
And I think another thing I thought about too on my drive here to do the podcast today was even looking with applications. I know everything is going online, and is even letters of recommendation. Like, even though you don't have experience in a job, like maybe you have a teacher, a friend that knows your personality and some of the traits that people are looking for, that you're responsible, you're disciplined, you work hard. Maybe they can write you a letter of recommendation. Maybe that could be the tipping point that another person doesn't have.
Fantastic
to
suggestion.
get a job,
Fantastic suggestion. I even didn't talk about this, but basically all the jobs requesting resume, background, check, and so far, and also letter of recommendation. But you'd give me another idea. I'm sure that all these wonderful students, Gen Z, they have some, priority that they were good at, right? If it's art, if it's mathematics, if it's writing, whichever it is, or just a system to do the homework on time. And I'm sure that many, many parents, Gen Xers, are still looking for someone that could tutor the kids. Right? So I suggest do not give up, because when I was younger, this is what I did. I was looking for babysitting, tutoring. I was the temporary waitress doing the summer job, right? And you were looking constantly to find something to extra income, and that can give you the experience on the paper, right?
And looking at that, I mean, there's thousands of people out there constantly looking for childcare. There's thousands of even elderly people just being taken
the caregiver
to the grocery store to
run the errands with
run
them.
the errands.
Well, just caretaker,
or doctor's appointments.
And I forgot to say, guys, the caretakers depends what you're doing for them. I think the job starting between $17, $16 per hour, and going up depends what the care you guys provide, right? And those companies are out there. So temporary something again that will give you experience of humanity and communications, because as we spoke before, the studies in Europe has been done, and many professors have mentioned it, that no, I know, guys, that everybody has a fear. AI will take everything. No, it's impossible. It's not the time yet. Okay, we're all gonna be gone long time before that's happening. So to continue with AI appropriate and understanding, we need to have someone that will communicate between an AI and rest of us. So communication background, hey, recommendation for you guys, right? It's very important. And I think has been lost. Again, we spoke about this, has been lost with the millennium, because they spend so much time being involved with the internet and not socialize with people. So that's my kind of a FYI.
Well, and I know growing up in America, we have this saying that the best time to look for a job is when you have a job. And I think the basis of that statement is that employers want people who've been able to hold down a job and be reliable.
But at the same time have that extra push that you're gonna find anything at all, that you're at least working and showing the effort that you are resourceful and you find something. And I'm not telling everyone to be a caregiver, dog groomer, or to change their career, be hairdresser, right? But any job, okay, that will survive you. And again, recommendation, if the job is not in Vegas, sometimes it's wise idea to research where your family member live. Ask if you can spend with them 2-3 months, and maybe you find a position over there, right? I wanted to read something very interesting, because Kate has actually a fabulous degree that I have been always impressed with, but it's interesting, right? Listen to this. I just graduated college with a degree in biochemistry, and every job I have applied has come back and said I am unqualified. I have experience like 2 to 3 years of experience, and I cannot even get an entry-level job, so I am a bit worried. Of course you're worried, but like we said, this is a very specific positions that he's looking for with that degree, so you need to branch out. You need to branch out to look for something else, right? And I think you have a second letter that is a little bit also edgy on that topic, right?
So it says, Dear Generation Mingle, I'm a boomer and I disagree with part of what I'm hearing. Yes, things are hard, but every generation seems convinced their struggle is unique. When I was young, interest rates hit double digits, people lost homes, factories closed, jobs disappeared. We didn't have AI, we had layoffs. The challenge changes, the need to adapt doesn't. My concern isn't AI, it's that too many people are waiting for certainty before taking action. Life has never offered certainty, Dan, a boomer who believes resilience still matters. And I 1,000% agree with Dan. Resilience does matter, because that's the time that you build the most character as a person, is when you're in these resilient times. And I do have a lot of empathy for the Gen Z generation, and I mean, honestly, all generations right now, people trying to find jobs. So many people are trying to find second jobs
I think
because
the biggest thing is also, you know, we quite didn't wrap our minds around that AI situation and
Right.
job loss.
Right.
So we cannot really generally figure it out how to approach
Right.
losing those jobs that AI have replaced.
Right.
So that's why I will always say you need to find any job at the current time
Right.
to show your future employer that you're really trying and you're really hardcore person that you want to do that.
Right.
Resilience. So boomers have been very resilient. I think they
Yes.
build up in Gen Xers as well. I'm gonna do it everything on my own, and I think the approach needs to be a little bit more shown for the millennia and Gen Z. No, it is not like your parents have telling you, you go to college,
Right.
you finish your college, you're gonna have that dream job. This is not what's happening.
No, it's
Those are
not
very
anymore.
unique and
No.
limited percentile
Yeah.
that actually reach that point.
Right.
And majority of the time, like we said, is word of mouth, circumstances that you will be lucky and you have
Right.
that position, right? So resilience, definitely.
Right.
High recommendation. And, you know, I have a comment from Unknown. I wanted to read that. That is why I am about to join the military. It is literally my only position at this point. And I, you know, was thinking about it because we did have a visit from our retired Air Force gentleman, and he actually said something about, you know, his child to as recommendation to go to any affiliation of military, Army, Air Force, whichever.
Right.
And he was very specific what he said, that is extremely important to choose the position just right, so you can profit from it when you leave the service to have
right.
that career going.
Yeah, because there are a lot
So,
of things
yeah,
in the military
yeah.
that really are considered
And on
the
top
job
of
training.
AI, right? AI situation, because
Right.
militaries really get that substantial finances as well, especially right
For
now
sure, for
the
sure.
AI jobs. So that
Right.
will be something that you guys really could, you know, think about, is even with your degrees. Because keep in mind, I'm not sure the general public knows that if you already have a college,
Yes.
and if you're lucky enough that you finish masters, your ranking in any of the military services also will be higher.
Right.
So actually it is a smart thing to
Yes, it is.
process and think, but please do me a favor, ask people that have been serving, ask what branch you want to do and
Right.
which job you would be qualifying and which job would be profitable for you. Don't just go to the army, sign the paper and put the boots on the ground and go and travel in the tank
Right.
somewhere. This is not necessary. I understand some of you guys have no education yet at all, but still be very cautious how you're choosing that possibility to sign off the paper to military. As we come into the end, I believe that we have also a letter that tickled my heart. It was very kind, and I think was boomer as well, right?
Yes, it is. So this letter says, "Hello, Generation Mingle. To the Gen Z writer, your fear is real. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Housing is expensive, education is expensive, the job market is changing rapidly. But here's what I learned after 70 years. Every generation eventually discovers that the future they imagined isn't the future they get. The people who succeed aren't always the smartest, they're the ones who adapt. The ones willing to learn new skills, change directions, start over when necessary. Don't build your identity around a job title. Build it around your ability to grow. Because technology will always change, economies will always change, and the world will always change. And your greatest asset will be your ability to change with it." Annie, the boomer who is rooting for your generation. And
Well,
she nailed it.
yes,
Because that's,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's the truth that flexibility and adaptation is, I mean, it goes back to just regular science that we've had to mutate over years
Yes.
to become humans and
Yep.
how we are as humans. And I think that's a great piece of advice for anyone to understand is
Right.
that if we're afraid of AI, maybe we need to delve and learn more about AI so we can understand what those challenges are going to be for us.
Yes, we have been saying that all the time. Again, AI will not take all the jobs.
Right.
AI will not take your housing away, okay? And AI will not ruin your financial stability.
Right.
You just have to a little bit wiggle around and find a way to approach the AI. And I wish that also the companies and employees and everybody that is close to AI will help the younger generation and us generally, all of us, to approach that. But they are right now in it to profit and cut and make the money super fast. So we all understand that. And like I said, this is problem with all generation. But please, just FYI to the boomers and Gen Xers, be a little bit easier on millennials and Gen Zs, because I think they have the power. They can do a lot in changes for us in the future as we're trying to retire and we cannot because of that situation. So Gen Z, please listen to me what I'm saying. No, we're not holding to the jobs to not giving you our jobs. We just can basically not retire. We cannot afford. Majority boomers still will work part-time, okay? And I'm Gen X, as I will continue to work because I cannot see even the light at the end of the tunnel to be able to say, hey, I will retire. So on top of that, I have also briefly talked to one of the economists that I know. And on the end, he just summarized something for me. So I want to say that to the end to our show. As he said, this is the biggest message from me. The future may belong less to those with the most prestigious degrees and more to those who can adapt, learn new skills, work with technology, and solve human problems that mechanics cannot easily solve. The question is no longer what job will last forever. The question is how quickly can I learn when the world changes. That may be the defining challenge facing every generation in the AI era. And I think he wrapped that out very well, because our generation has to adapt, Gen Xers to AI, and millennials have to adapt to AI, and Gen Z has to adapt to AI. And this is our third podcast on the topic, and I know that this will be just revolving. So Gen Z, don't fight. I know you have to express your frustration. Please give us more comments. We love it. I'm sorry we don't have time to read it all. I want to say also to this first responder that write to me later, please keep in touch. Yes. Let me know how you're doing. We're rooting for you. I think you did everything right, just like majority of you guys that communicate with me on TikToks, the millennials and Gen Xers and Gen Z. Guys, you're doing fabulous. Just hang in there. Just adapt to the situation.
Don't give up.
Don't give up,
Perseverance is another skill and another thing that you just have to keep going and keep applying, and your break's going to come. It's going to come, I promise.
So guys, if you like our podcast, give us a thumbs up on the YouTube, subscribe. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a shorts. All of what I wanted to say, thank you so much, Suzette, for coming. Thank you for your input. Thank you for researching. Thank you for the chats. And guys, as always, I say, keep your music loud, your Wi-Fi strong, your conversation just loud enough. I'm keeping to conversing, and keep on mingle.